Another day ruined from the pandemic. Hello, folks. It's me. The one guy that's going to be the next and better version of Walt Disney Studios. Yep, you heard it. I am the new guy that's going to be the next Walt Disney. And guess who it will be? No, silly me. Silly gooses. I'm not that red plumber. I wear orange, you see. That's the one. My name is Dylan. And people can always call me that. My other name that's from DeviantArt is K1. K1 means Kingo Studios. My dream is about to become a movie director, or hopefully becoming a movie studio. And this is what is about my dream, making my own independent movie. That is probably the first party movie, like building my own studio and building my own fun and wild imagination stories about the adventures of Ultra King Ant and his sidekick girlfriend, Pinky the Wallaby. You see, I was about to have plans and probably make a studio in 2020. Beginning of my dream for this decade. Unfortunately, one of my characters were infected from some disease, which is called the darkness, or the abstraction. Not only we have, that's exactly like the pandemic, but there's also the digital virus that can infect characters as well, especially mine was. I try to go in my desk room to find out what's going on, see what is going on for my creation, but I was too late. A world for things that have been remembered in Australia. That's from the 80s pop culture that I have created. Was it ravished? A wasteland. After everything that happened, like studios were being canceled for some difficulties, for 2 months later, I decided to go play a game that could cheer me up. But there aren't any games I don't feel like playing, like Super Smash Brothers, or Pokemon, or Little Big Planet. Especially, well, what was that fighting game? Oh yeah, Street Fighter, and etc. Like some Marvel games and other Mario sport games too. But, however, I got a unexpected door knocking, and then there's nobody in out in front of the door. Just a copy that's from a PlayStation 1 game called Spyro 3. aka Spyro Enter Year of the Dragon. Yeah, Year of the Dragon. So I was said to myself, I'm a big Spyro fan. I'm sure someone, I'll just might give someone back if someone's like probably looking for this game. But when I open the cover, it's like when I look at the destruction manual, and then instead of saying the destructions of the game, it said, "Help me if you want to play this game." And I said to myself, what message is it? What kind of message is it from? So I put the disc down in my PlayStation 3 to make sure if the game was normal. And actually, at first, I thought this game was, actual normal for a little while. Until I see a kangaroo that looks just like my character. And I was like, could it be the one and only superhero that I invented? Kobo? Then Kobo was looking at the screen at me. Just try to be careful. Don't go near to that fairy. I was confused why Kobo was so worried about that fairy. I mean, I know he didn't. There aren't any fairies in his world, but I'm not sure why was he so worried about me going towards the fairy. So I decided not to go towards that fairy or not talk to that fairy. Only characters that Spyro should trust, like Hunter. So I go near the spot. So I let Spyro go near a Hunter. So make sure I don't talk to any other strangers. Yeah. He just wants to make sure that just to finish the game without getting caught. And after almost done beating the game, like with some eggs, to try and save up my money and don't give any money to Moneybags. After I defeated Moneybags, I saw a suspicious pink wannabe character. That looks exactly like my character. And I was like, is that Pinky? So, Como had no choice for me, but he told me to run for it. And I was like to myself, if that thing might happen to Pinky, because that thing might happen to the other characters, like I'm playing as, like Spyro and Hunter. So I decided to make a run for it. Until the game ends. And after that, I turn off the game as quick as possible and put it back in the cover. However, this ain't the last time you see, the darkness. Because I'll tell you why. In April, Trolls War Tour has been released in theaters. But sadly, it was gotten canceled and decided to be on video on demand. Well, honestly, online kinda sucks. And I can understand why. 2020 might be a rough and suffered start from the decade of movies in 2020. And however, I do actually like the Trolls series. I mean, I do watch the Netflix, but I'm not interested of the 2D animation shows. Now, at the middle of my life, from about the first year of 2020, the first decade of the 20s, sometimes I get bored and tired and probably stayed up all night. But hey, that's what teenagers do. And after all, sometimes, I mean, the only positive thing is I don't have to go to school in 2020s. Unfortunately, I have to be forceful by doing some stinking homework. Thanks a lot, teachers. Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, no joke. I have to be trapped in by my dad's ex wife's house just for me doing homework at her house. Like, aka online school. And it drove me nuts. Like, I've only got in trouble for doing that. I've only got in trouble, for not paying attention in class. And I don't blame you. Sometimes you have to, go through it, though. But I'm glad I'm not in school anymore. Not only it's the 2020 that made YouTube worse. It was COPA. It was COPA. The YouTube changes, etc. Hell, even Lumber Rocks. Mike Flex is losing his crap. Oh wait, I'm not gonna message him because I don't want to talk about him. But as for the other YouTubers, there's some other YouTubers I miss, like the Talking Kitty Cat series and the Cute Mar Brothers. I was extremely disappointed for this year. However, I heard a door knocking once again, but yeah, and of course nobody was here, but this time it's not a video game. It's a Trolls DVD. I was like to myself, huh? Another Trolls movie already? So I decided to take it inside and make sure, what's it called? Trolls Band Together demo. I was like, huh, interesting. Another early version of the Trolls film. Maybe it might be a 10-minute sneak peek. So I put the disc in to make sure it also works. So I put the DVD in, the old TV. Said Trolls Band Together, early 2020 copy. So I play the movie, the early movie. it then started as the main character Poppy or Branch. Instead, I met with this new character from the series, Viva. I was like, wow. Started as a main character. That's about a first Troll's left off. That'll be interesting. But once that Viva heard a scary sound, she thought it might be the Bergens. She go down the slide to make sure if there aren't any Bergens that's from her house or her room. It was that pink familiar main princess. That's also a familiar face that saved the trolls. That stopped trolls this. The suspicious character said, "Nice," said.
Nice to see you, Jim Viva.
And Viva respond, "Poppy? Is that you?" And I was shocked and applauded. I respond, "Wait, isn't that Poppy?" And then the song begins. After that, Viva escaped. She was about to find Clay and find a way out of here and find the other trolls, until I heard a scariest voice from an unknown creature.
Precious Poppy, you dare and try to corner that little head troll.
Just as then, I saw Poppy holding her back together. In fact, the darkness was controlling her, enable her to get killed, and even know that she's a cartoon. Just then, we would try to escape. Viva ended up being cornered. As she looked up, she saw Poppy along with the other characters. What I was saying is, after that Viva was cornered, she saw the other familiar faces. It must be the obstructed other universes, like Spyro's, and bring them here. Just I thought that Viva was done for and she was about to get abstracted, but all of a sudden, Viva survived. She had survived for being saved from the end credits. But this isn't the last time I saw her. Probably she ended up in a different universe. Which is an anime that's from Sky Highway Pretty Cure. As soon as I turn off the TV and get the DVD out, put it back in, I was like, what the heck is going on? Who is that bird thing. That bird pony. And bird pony and a horn looking thing. And I discover the destroyers of creations, the destroyers of make-believe, and the destroyers of fun. Her name is Exisnistoft. Her plan was to get all the universes together just to get attention from Pinky's old school backyard show. So see, she signed a deal with Disney and Xbox just to buy them all, buy all the universes, and bring them to hers. Will all the universes be saved? Will the other survivors teamed up and save the universes? Will Como ever gonna save Pinky? Well, the answers will be in DeviantArt. Well, see you till there's more updates and more content about my PB content. This is Cake1 signing off. And good night, everybody.